Welcome to Lesson 83, Part 1. So on Lesson 83, we're solving problems using perimeter formulae. Pages 41 through 42. And I did not misspell that. That is the Latin plural. So these are formulae. Alrighty. So here on Lesson 83, our content objective is for 4th grade MD measurement data A3. I can use what I know about perimeter to solve real-world problems involving rectangles. Language objective, I can use vocabulary related to perimeter to solve problems involving rectangles. Social objective, I can work with others to use models to find solutions to problems involving rectangles. So in 3rd grade, you would have actually first learned about perimeter, or, well, maybe earlier, but I know in 3rd grade, you would have gone over perimeter. And perimeter is the distance around a two-dimensional shape. The perimeter of any polygon is the sum of the lengths of all the sides. So we're just figuring out how to get around the outside. I like to picture a little security guard walking around the entire perimeter to make sure things are safe. You wouldn't want him to go just part way. He needs to go all the way around. So its perimeter is all the way around the outside. So here we have 4 plus 4 plus 8 plus 8. This perimeter is 24 units. Formula is singular. Formulae is our plural. A formula is a rule that is written as an equation. It's a way to make sure you're getting the correct answer each time. We have here perimeter, that's what the P stands for, equals 2 times the length, because we have 2 lengths, plus 2 times the width, 2 widths. That is our standard formula that is used, but it is not the only one. So here's just another example. The perimeter is the total distance around the outside of the shape. So we go 10 and 5 and 10 and 5. So we've gone a distance of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Total distance around the outside. So for a rectangle, we have our length, and then our width, and then our length, and our width. Because of our associative property of addition, I could actually group these together. I could have my 2 lengths together. So I could do 10 plus 10, and I could put my 2 widths together. 5 plus 5. 10 plus 10 is 20. 5 plus 5 is 10. 20 plus 10 is 30. And this is where our formula comes from that is used the most. You have 2 of the same length, so we can multiply it by 2 instead of adding it to itself. And we have 2 of the same width. So this is where it comes from. I have 2 of the same length plus 2 of the same width. Now, but if you notice, these are similar. So another way we could look at it is I have 2 times our length plus our width. If we add 15 plus 10, I'm sorry, 5 plus 10, we get 15. And 2 of those, 15 times 2, gives us 30. So there's more than one way to do this. We could just add all 4 sides, or we could use a formula. This is the one that you will see on tests and in different questions. So that's why it's important to be familiar with that one. but there's more than one way. See, that's why it's here. Okay, let's look at a word problem. Jamie is putting up a fence around, so we know it's a perimeter because we're going around her garden. How much fencing will she need if the length of the fence is 12 feet? It's hard to see, but that's a 12. And the width is 9 feet. So it's important to know our units. How much fencing does she need? So it's important to know because we're going to review area as well. Perimeter and area get mixed up a lot, so it's important to know which one we're talking about. So first we need to draw a picture, so we're going to draw a rectangle. Her rectangular garden. Her length is 12 feet and her width is 9 feet. So if we were to use our formula here, we have 2 times our length, because we have 2 of those. One down here, one up here. And we have 2 of our width, one right here and one right here. It doesn't matter which one you say is the length and which one you say is the width. You just have to have one in one place and one in the other. And that's because of our commutative property of multiplication and of addition. When you're joining things together, it doesn't matter the order as long as you find out the total. When you're taking things apart, like in subtraction or division, it does matter the order. So it's okay if you're not sure which one is the length and which one's the width. Now I write my L like this. You could do a cursive L, so I don't think it's a number 1, if you're wondering why it has a little tail on it. 2 times 12, 2 groups of 12 is 24. 2 groups of 9 is 18. 24 plus 18 is 42. So our equation was 2 times 12 plus 2 times 9. And what is the solution? How much does she need? She needs 42 feet of fence. Craig bought a new rug for his bedroom. The perimeter of the rug, so we know the perimeter, is 24 feet. And the length, so here's our length, is 8 feet. What is the width of the rug? That's what we're trying to find out. So here we have our rug. The distance around it, our perimeter, is 24 feet. It tells us our length is 8 feet and 8 feet. But we don't know these 2 sides here. That's what we're missing. So this time, I am actually going to use this equation, this formula, because it's going to get us to our solution a little easier. We're going to use the perimeter equals 2 times the length plus the width. Sorry, I forgot my time symbol. So our perimeter is 24. Our length is 8, and we're trying to find our width. First thing I need to do is I need to cut it in half, because I just want to know what 1W is. So I'm going to cut it in half to only find out what 2 sides are together. It'll make it easier. So 24 divided by 2 is 12. So what plus 8 equals 12? Or 12 take away 8, we'll figure out what W is. 12 take away 8 is 4. So our width is 4. This one's 4, and this one's 4. Let's double check. 8 plus 4 is 12, plus 8 is 20, plus 4 is 24. Did we get 24 all the way around? Are these exactly the same length? Yes. So this time the equation we used was 24 equals 2 times 8 plus W. Because our whole perimeter is giving us 2 of these sides and 2 of these sides. I only need 1. So if I cut it in half or divide by 2, it makes it a little easier. The solution is the width is 4 feet. Okay, just a little more practice with our perimeter. How many feet of border is needed to go around the bulletin board? The perimeter is a measure of number of units around the outside of an object. Outside, you're going around the outside. So here is our bulletin board. It's a 6 by 4. And here it is with the squares inside. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 units this way. 1, 2, 3, 4. We don't worry about the inside. That's area. We only worry about going around the perimeter, around the outside. Using the bulletin board with unit squares, add the side lengths. So 4 and 6 and 4 and 6 is what we're looking at. 6 plus 4 is 10, plus 6 is 16, plus 4 is 20. The perimeter is 20 feet. So just adding up the 4 sides, we can find our perimeter. But you do need to be familiar with our formula here because you will see it. I have 2 that are the same length. This is 6 feet and this is 6 feet. So instead of adding 6 and 6, I could do 2 times 6. Same with my width. I have 4 feet and 4 feet. So instead of adding 4 plus 4, I can do 2 times 4. So now I have 12 feet plus 8 feet, and 12 plus 8 is 20. We got to the same answer, either adding all the sides or using this formula for perimeter of a rectangle. Okay, just a little more practice, just reminding you of what perimeter is. So here we're trying to find the perimeter of this rectangle. So we have 2 lengths plus 2 widths. So our length is 7. Our width is 3. 2 times 7 is 14. 2 times 3 is 6. 14 plus 6 is 20. And the M stands for meters. So we go 3 and 7 is 10, and 3 is 13, and 7 is 20. Going around that entire outside perimeter of the shape. Okay, so here we have our perimeter. We have 2 sides that are 6 yards. We have 2 sides that are 8 yards. If you just want to add 6 plus 8 plus 6 plus 8, that works as well. If you would prefer to use this formula right here, that will work also. The reason I'm using this one is because it's the most common one, and I want you to be familiar with it. 2 times 6 is 12. 2 times 8 is 16. 12 plus 16 is 28. The perimeter is 28, and our unit is yards. Don't forget your unit. It's a very important piece of information. Okay, now this one is similar to word problem up there. We know the perimeter. We know one side. We have to find the other side. So our perimeter, I'm going to use this equation here, this formula here, because this one is a little easier to use when finding a missing side with perimeter. So our perimeter equals 2 times our length plus our width. Our perimeter is 32. Our length is 12. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut that 32 in half. So if you look in your 2 column down to 32, you will see that 2 groups of 16 are in 32. Now what times 12 is 16? Or 16 take away 12 is what? It's 4. The width is 4 feet. So it's a little trickier because we have 2 of these. We can't just subtract 12. We'd have to subtract 2 groups of 12 and then cut that answer in half to figure out what just one side is. Okay, here we have a square. Now the thing with the square is all 4 sides are the same length. Well, if all 4 sides are the same length, 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2, I can just multiply one side by 4. So for a square, the formula is simpler. It's just 4 times whatever one side is. So we get 8 centimeters. The formula for the rectangle will still work because the square is a rectangle, but this is a simpler way you could look at it. All right, let's go ahead and do some more practice with perimeter formula.